I'm going to show you how to file your homestead exemption in Dallas County, Texas. Also, wait until the end for clarification about tax protests. But first, what is a homestead? A homestead is a residence that is owned by an individual, a married couple, or a trust. It cannot be owned by a business, and it cannot be an investment property. It needs to be your primary residence. What is a homestead exemption? It's a tax rebate on the appraised value of your home. In other words, with a homestead exemption, you get to lower the property taxes on your primary residence. How much is a homestead exemption? For many years, it was $25,000. In 2022, it was raised to $40,000. And in 2023, it was raised to $100,000. So if your assessed value is $500,000, you'll only pay taxes on $400,000. Also, the homestead exemption makes sure that your property taxes cannot be raised by more than 10% per year, which can be helpful when we experience a high appreciation year. If you're over 65 years of age or a disabled person, meaning you qualify to receive disability from the Social Security Administration, you can receive an additional exemption from school district taxes. If you're over 65 years of age and qualify as a disabled person, you have to choose either the over 65 or the disabled exemption. Being over 65 also qualifies you for a tax ceiling on the school district taxes for your property, meaning that they cannot increase while you're in the home, and you can transfer that ceiling to your next homestead. When should you file? Typically, the deadline is April 30th of this year to apply for last year. However, you can file a late exemption up to 2 years later. What do you need in order to file? You need a driver's license that shows the current address for that homestead. So if you just bought the home, update your driver's license with the new address first, then apply for the homestead. And if 2 people are on the deed, you need both people to update your driver's licenses. Before I go any further, please like this video if you find it helpful, subscribe if you'd like more practical real estate content like this, comment below if you'd like clarification on anything, or if you'd like for me to make a video about another real estate topic. And if you want to contact me directly, my information is in the description below. Let's talk about how to file for that homestead exemption. Okay, you'll start by Googling Dallas County CAD, CAD, that stands for Central Appraisal District. You'll click on the home page, and on the left it'll say Forms. Click there, and it's the most popular form on the site, Residence Homestead Exemption Application. Now, Dallas County CAD is different than some others in the sense that you need to currently be living there as a resident to even see the forms. And so what I'm going to do is put in a random street address, which I'm not going to include in this video, but put in your address, click search, and then click your address down here. And then on this next page, we're going to click File Homestead Exemption Online. You can also print it off and mail it in, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to file online. Next page, very simple. We want to go to the application, and so click here to go to the application. And then this is how Dallas County CAD does it. You simply fill out these questions one by one. It does clarify, in order to qualify for an exemption, you must occupy the property on January 1st of the year application is made. This can be different for different counties. What they're saying is if you bought the house in August, wait until January 1st to apply for the homestead exemption. That'll give you time to change the address on your driver's license, which is required. Does more than one person own this property? If you own it as a single person or as a married couple, the answer to that question is no. And then most of you are going to apply for the general residence homestead exemption. If you're applying for something else, you can click here. On what date did you begin occupying the property? I just got to put in a random date here, so I'll put in a random date right there. If you have questions about how big your lot is, this is asking for the acreage of the lot. You can ask your title company. You can ask me. I'm happy to look that up for you. It's also on your deed. Are you claiming an exemption on another property or on your previous address? Hopefully the answer to that question is no. If you are claiming an exemption on your previous address, if it's in Dallas County, they will transfer that for you. If it is in Travis County, for example, then you need to contact Travis County CAD, let them know you want to remove your homestead from that property, and then you can just click no here because you're removing that homestead. On January 1st, did you occupy and claim this property as your primary residence but temporarily away? Okay, so maybe this is your only primary residence, but you lived in London for a little bit this year. You could click yes there. For most people, it's your primary residence. You don't have another primary residence. It's not saying, did you take a vacation? Okay, so most of you will click no. Again, this is not legal advice. You know your own situation, and you know what you should click there. But again, it's not saying, did you go on vacation? It's just saying, is this your only primary residence? Was your residence less than 100% complete on January 1st of the year application is made? That's saying, is this a new build, right? So if the new build was, the completion of the new build was April, of the previous year, then you could click yes, it was less than 100% complete. For most of you, no, it was 100% complete at the start of the previous year. Was any portion of your property used for rental purposes or not occupied, not used for homestead purposes? So if you were renting out an accessory dwelling unit, you have an Airbnb property on your residence, then you would say yes here. But most of you don't have that, and so the answer would be no. Was any portion of the property rented? If it was, click yes. If not, click no. Is this cooperative housing? That is much more prominent in Manhattan, New York City than it is here. If it is a co-op, if any of these are unusual answers, feel free to comment below or contact me. I'm happy to help you through it. Is the person applying for this exemption a resident of a facility providing services related to health, infirmity, or aging? Okay, again, for most of you, that will be no. If the answer to that question is yes, I'm happy to help you navigate this as well. Is the person applying for this exemption a certified participant of the address confidentiality program? So if you've committed a crime and you want your address to be confidential, you might click yes. Again, most of you are going to click no there. Does the person applying for this exemption hold a driver's license issued under Transportation Code for federal or state judges and spouse for peace officers who have omitted the residence address in lieu of the courthouse address in which you or your spouse serve? For most of you, again, that will be no. If it's yes, I'm happy to help you through it. Is this person applying for this exemption an active duty member of the U.S. Armed Service or the spouse of an active duty member? If yes, click there. If no, click here. Is it a manufactured home? For most of you, the answer is no. We go to next. And then here's where we'll have to leave it. So you will take a picture of your driver's license, both for you and for your spouse. And if you have any email transaction with the previous county saying that you have removed the homestead exemption for that previous house, you can take a snapshot of that email, include all of that here. Unfortunately, I can't do that, so I can't go to the next page, but that's where you will go to complete this process of filing online. Or if you encounter any difficulties with uploading files or submitting your residence homestead exemption application, then please mail your application and documents to Dallas Central Appraisal District, Property Records Exemption Division at P.O. Box 560328, Dallas, Texas 75356. That's how you do it. Okay, regarding tax protests, remember that there's a difference between your market value and your assessed value. You're going to get an appraisal notice in the mail from the county. When you receive it, you'll see the market value and the appraised value. The market value is what the county believes your house could sell for currently. The assessed value is the amount at which they have valued the house for the previous tax year. The assessed value is the amount on which you're going to be taxed, and that's the amount that will be reduced by $100K when you file for your homestead exemption. So why do they show you the market value and the assessed value? They want to show you that the market value is higher than the assessed value as a way of discouraging you from protesting that assessed value down further. Don't take the bait. You can still protest that assessed value even if the market value is higher on that appraisal notice. Subscribe for more helpful real estate content. Here's more real estate how-tos, and you might find this video helpful as well. I'll see you next time.